WGH. My name is Gabby, and I am here with the hilarious Tiffany Haddish. You probably know her as Nikisha Williams on NBC's The Carmichael Show, as Dina in the 2017 smash comedy Girls Trip, or currently as Tuca on Netflix's Tuca and Birdie. One thing's for sure, though, wherever you find this performer, she will be stealing the show. Hi, Tiffany. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hello, Gabby.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. You look beautiful. Yes, for the eye makeup. She ready.
Thank you. I had to do some weird situation with my eyeliner because it was getting when you start doing a wing and then it's like you have to keep making it bigger and bigger. That happened. I was like, I'm on camera. It's fine.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I love it. I love it. You did a great job.
Amazing too. I love your little pop purple on your eye. Love it so much.
Yeah.
Amazing. So you have an incredibly impressive list of credits under your belt, not only as a stand-up, but also in film and television. So of all the projects you've worked on, what stands out as your favorite experience?
My favorite experience was Girls Trip. That was my favorite. That was, the best job I ever had, the most fun, the most learning experience, the best relationships. Yeah, that's my favorite. It's my favorite.
And just as a viewer, that totally translates on screen too, because you can just see when the cast is having a great time, it just the energy comes through so clearly. And you've also worked in kind of many different genres. So in your career, what has been the benefit of trying so many different things?
I feel like the benefit of trying so many different things is it makes you stronger as an artist. You know, if you don't challenge yourself, there's no growth. And I'm all about growing. I'm a firm believer in a good challenge, and because here's the secret: success is super heavy. It's really heavy, and you have to be strong enough to carry it. And in order to be strong enough, you have to be able to handle challenges and receive the challenges and tackle them. And life will throw all kind of shenanigans at you. So I rather pick my challenge than let life just drop challenges on me. So I'll do a dramatic role when I'm not really the most naturally, I guess maybe I am naturally very dramatic, but I try not to be. I might be actually very dramatic, but it's all about growing, and it's about being strong enough to maintain what I've built.
Definitely.
There's a reason that some people are overnight success, not overnight success, but a one-hit wonder. They're a lot of people were saying that about me when I did Girls Trip. They're like, oh, that's it. That's how we're going to see it. She's not going to do anything else. And then here comes Night School. And they're like, well, that's a fluke, nothing else. And then here comes the special. And then here comes, SNL. And then here comes, all these different things that hit. And it's because I worked so hard and challenged myself before I even was known to the world, right? So there's a certain amount of strength and integrity that it takes to maintain success and to continue to grow it. So
that's you had a quote there that's I feel like it just needs to be on someone's wall, which is success is really heavy. And that's true, because both when you're working for it and then also when you have it, and of course, whatever career journey you choose, it's not going to be linear. There's always going to be setbacks along the way. So in your experience, how have you coped with different instances where you and your crew had different visions for a character, or your set didn't perfectly gel with the audience, just kind of different hurdles? How do you mentally overcome those?
Well, we know what a lot of my hurdles have been. Hold on. They always happen in front of everybody, right? It's I can't do nothing without the world having something to say about it. You can't have a bad day at work when you're Tiffany Haddish. That's what it feels like. But it's okay, because I've learned how to look at okay, anything bad that happens or things that don't work out, I try to find the funny in it. That's my coping mechanism. That's my tool. Be able to laugh at this, smile at this, or even if it's a horrible thing that might have happened or that is happening, find the aha in it, find the learning lesson in it. 2018 going into 2019, that New Year's Eve show that I did, the night before that New Year's Eve show, I got drunk as hell. Okay. I thought I was in my 20s again. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I decided now that maybe I was drugged, but I wasn't drugged. I drugged myself. You understand? I drank too much. My kidneys and my liver, my body wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready. My slogan is "She ready," but at that particular time in the world, I was not ready. She wasn't ready. She wasn't ready. I was exhausted. I would overwork myself, and I wanted to celebrate all these wins that I was having, but was too exhausted to celebrate. And thought I could do it anyways, and still thought I could do my job, but I couldn't. And it was a great learning experience, but it sucked because the whole god dang world talked about it for 2 weeks straight and didn't let it go.
Yeah.
But then I took it and I put it in my special, and I talked about it. I talked about why I did what I did, how the mistake that I made, what I learned from it, how it'll never happen again, how it hasn't happened since, right? Because I learned from it, and I got a damn Grammy.
You should.
And an Emmy nomination off of that special.
You're halfway to an EGOT. It's really like, who's winning now?
Right. But yeah, in your failures, that's where you find success. That's a quote for you.
There's another quote. I'm gonna have to start keeping track.
I'm just telling you, let's make t-shirts. When you fail, though, when you make a mistake, when you fuck up, when you fail, that's where the real lesson is. That's where the real win is. If you learn from that and don't repeat it, right? Then you are winning. Then you can excel to the top of whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah. And like you did, like reclaiming that, and like you said, incorporating the like public talk about you and your career into your special, and making that saying, okay, that's mine now. Like, if we're going to joke about it, then I'm going to go ahead and joke about it. Like, yeah, and I'll take it.
My thing. Yeah,
exactly. And kind of on a similar note, how have you dealt with rejection, which I'm sure is a big thing in the entertainment industry?
Well, first of all, rejection is the number one thing you're going to have to deal with, because everybody ain't going to like you. Okay. I still deal with it to this day. It is never going to be a time where I don't deal with rejection. I deal with it every day. I feel like me coming from the foster care system prepared me in such a way that it makes it kind of easy for me to handle rejection, because a lot of times rejection, when it's not always about you, it's about maybe what they have going. It might be about other producers, agreements that they have going on. It's not always about you. And if it is about you, awesome, because now you know what to change about yourself, or how to, not necessarily change, but how to evolve, right? But I like to say, I tell myself, my rejection is my protection. The rejection is the protection. When a guy I really like isn't into me, wonderful, because that probably is not the man for me. All right. And every time I've gone against that rejection and tried to manipulate and try to get what I want out of the dude anyways, I got my feelings hurt. I got my heart broke, or my car messed up. Like, so.
Sure, yeah.
So when someone rejects you, when you're rejected from a project or whatever, fine. You can maybe go to somebody else on the project and ask them or whatever, or you can just go to the next thing.
Yeah, just like if it's meant to be, it'll be. We really do have to make t-shirts, like you said, because that's another like fantastic quotable. The rejection is the protection is like, could not imagine anything better. One of the like my personal things that helped me with rejection, and something that I think helps a lot of people, is kind of keeping those goals in mind. Like you said, like, I know I want to be here in 10 years. So, yeah, this sucks, but whatever, I'll get there anyways. So I would love to know, what is one major career goal that you would love to achieve?
I would love, love, love to open a studio. My own studio, much like, Warner Brothers, Paramount, Tyler Perry Studios. I would love to open She Ready Studios or Haddish Studios. She Ready Haddish Studio? No, She Ready Studios.
She Ready Studios. It rolls off the tongue a little too well for it to like not be perfect. You know what I mean? Like, you said that and my brain just lit up. I was like, I could see it happening.
Can you imagine? Like, the thing that why I want to do it so bad is because it would create so many jobs and so many opportunities for people to tell their stories. And not just like, I specifically want women to tell their stories, and all kinds of women to being able to tell their stories, because it's been such a male dominated world. Storytelling is, and it's like his story. What about her story? Hello? Like, I want to hear her story because he wouldn't be here without her giving birth to him. I'm just saying. So I just would love, love, love to be able to tell women's stories, which involve men too, but it would be geared towards women's entertainment, which men love watching women anyways. But I
But
would love
it's
to
us
be able
telling
to.
our own stories instead of other people writing about you, for sure. Um, I also have a couple of other like fun questions before I let you go. So first, in
Ask
2019,
me 100 questions. I got nothing but time.
I'm having a blast. So in 2019, you did an interview with David Letterman
Mhm.
and talked about one of your early jobs, which was an energy producer, I believe was your title at bar mitzvahs and executive parties. And now, thanks to things like social distancing and vaccines and masks, we're kind of slowly starting to be able to reincorporate a bit of social interaction into our lives again. And I know I'm not the only person feeling a little bit awkward being in a social setting again. So I would love to know from an energy producing expert, what are your best tips for livening up a room?
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie to you. I just started going back. Okay, so I was out and about during the pandemic, but only in certain places. And I knew everybody had been tested. So it was a certain level of comfortability, but also social awkwardness. And I say embrace the awkwardness. Like if you're uncomfortable and you're around somebody, say, boy, I'm uncomfortable. I don't, are you uncomfortable? And 9 times out of 10, they are too. And you guys can laugh about that and it kind of dissipates. I did a comedy show the other night and there were 250 people there. I was in fear, I want to say, not because I thought I was going to bomb or anything, but more so like I just heard 2 people coughing. Like, you know,
No, totally. Like the grocery store.
and nobody had on a freaking mask, which was like very unsettling. And then I hadn't heard an audience roar without mask on. At that point, everywhere I had performed at, everyone was wearing a mask. This is my first time being at a show. No one is wearing masks. I go up on stage and the people are clapping and cheering. And I'm like, whoa, it is loud. It was louder because I can, their mouths aren't being covered, right?
Right.
So it was loud. And it was my whole spirit like lit up. And I felt like I'm not I wanted to cry. So I want to cry right now. Just if I could feel it right now, like it was 1997 all over again. And I was at the Laugh Factory. I felt like the little girl who the first time I heard an audience roar for me like that, right? So it was very emotion. It was very emotional for me. And then I'm like, okay, guys, sitting there like this is. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is the first time I've heard an audience make this much noise in a year and a half, and it came through this clear. And they got even louder, and everybody jumped up and like, wow, because the realization was it wasn't the first. It's not just the first time for me. It was the first time for those 250 people as well, to be able to be in a room with a bunch of strangers and scream and yell and shout and hoop for the same thing, to be in unison, to be on the same energy wavelength. It is one of the most powerful feelings in the world, to be able to laugh about something with a group of strangers. It's like the most beautiful song you ever heard.
For
It's
sure.
the most
No,
awesome thing. So that to me, I just think in order to handle it, right? Call out how you feel to the persons closest to you. Let them know how you're feeling. 9 times out of 10, they feel the same way, and all that uncomfortability evaporates. Or you guys could be uncomfortable together. You know that you both are going through it, and that's cool. I'm not
exactly.
alone. I'm not alone in this feeling, and that's a great feeling too.
Yeah, if we're gonna be uncomfortable, we got to be uncomfortable together. And
Yeah.
I love just that whole story that like you went through the emotion of like just overwhelmed because you felt like the first time you did comedy again, and then it's joy, and then it's fear, and it's kind of so many emotions, and it's like so important to acknowledge all of those and be honest about all of those, because it likely won't be, just joy or just fear or just whatever. It's going to be a mixture of so many different weird crazy feelings.
Exactly.
Like we're all feeling them
Oh,
together.
and child, let me tell you something. I was up, I stayed up till like 3 or 4 in the morning that night. mind you, latest I've stayed up in a long time. And I was talking to every single person that wanted to talk to me, taking pictures with every single person. And then so then I get home, I wash up, like Listerine, disinfect everything, go to bed, wake up the next day, congested, my throat is sore, my voice is gone. I'm like, oh my God, did I catch it? Did I catch Corona that fast? Right?
Yeah, well,
I
here,
got tested every day for 4 days. They're like, you don't have it at all. Like,
try again. No, that's so like,
my mind wanted to believe, oh man, you're sick. But then when you sit back and realize it, I haven't talked to that many people in one night. My voice hasn't exercised like that in a year and a half.
totally. Especially if you're performing too, like there's a certain kind of projection you have to have that like takes its toll. But
A
yeah,
year
any
and a
like
half.
slight cough, I know that I get a little afraid too. That is everything that I had lined up for you today, but I did just want to open the floor before I let you go and ask if there's anything I didn't ask about that you wanted to bring up. You can feel free to plug any upcoming projects or leave final advice for students. It's all yours. What I got to
Well,
do.
here's what I got to say to you and to any students that may be listening or reading whatever you write. And that is, do what you love. If you love to write, write. And I don't care what the hell you write as much of it as you possibly can. Whatever it is you love to do that, because that is where you'll be the most happiest. And that is where you will make money that feels right. Right. Because you can make money doing a lot of things and it's not necessarily going to feel great in your spirit. And you might be have a lot of money, but be miserable because you're not doing what you love. So just always make sure you're putting yourself in a position, even if it's challenging, that you're doing what you love. As long as you can feel that little butterfly thing about whatever it is you're doing, then you're doing the right thing. Right. So I don't know, something about you, man. Something about you. You're gonna do something, you're gonna change the world. That's all I know.
Once again, Tiffany, thank you so much for joining us today. This interview absolutely made my day, and I'm positive it will do the same for any students who are out there watching. On behalf of Ignite, I want to wish you a wonderful rest of the year, and I cannot wait to see what you work on next. And for everyone out there watching, thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to follow at ShareIgnite on Instagram and Twitter to stay up to date with all things student life. Bye.